Monica has her legs straight up in the air, and they're shaking like she's been hit by lightning, but it's smokable 5-MeO DMT she's taken in. She's howling like a jaguar, dying and rebirthing upside down in the bushes, like she's trying to push herself back into the earth. As she shakes uncontrollably, waves of energy streaming through her. Jesus fucking Christ! This is like home footage of some species mutation caught on handycam in the jungle. But wait, let's step back a bit. This is too full on, too much to explain now. We are, of course, at it again. Ron's mashing up some ayahuasca vine with a hammer in his backyard this sunny Friday morning as we arrive, getting a brew ready for a circle tomorrow night. And he sings some Icaros to assuage the spirit of the vine along the way.
Anybody who's done much work with ayahuasca will tell you, we don't choose to drink ayahuasca. She chooses us. And I find that very true. So, there's hallucinogenic plants all over the face of the earth. Peyote, San Pedro, the Syrian rose, opium, all these plants. I see these plants selecting the caretakers, the teachers. In my opinion, we're caretakers of the earth. They need us. What I have seen with ayahuasca, we're all doing exactly what we need to do, subconsciously. We're not aware that we're doing these things. Sucking all the petroleum out of the earth. The earth needs us to do that to bring forth the earth changes. She can't do these things on her own. But we all know that the earth changes periodically. About every 25,000 years. Makes major changes. We've had the Ice Age, all this stuff. And it will continue to happen. And I see ayahuasca as all vines. The vine starts growing on something, it just tries to take over everything. And ayahuasca also is a vine. And through us, each ayahuasquero, we're like another limb of the vine. And she's trying to embrace the world.
It's funny, but having been on the inside of that cross-species communication, I find I have to agree. Now, in this age of biotech wonders, where the gene of one creature can be inserted into another to hotwire the genome, is it that hard to think that nature herself has been doing her own experiments on and through her creatures all this time? It's an interesting thought that there is, as my ayahuasca and DMT experiences have led me to believe, an active intelligence behind or in nature itself that's working as part of the cosmic ecology to nurture us monkeys, not possess and replace us, but to improve and better us to play our role in the web of life. Kenneth Tupper, a PhD candidate in the Department of Educational Studies at the University of British Columbia, said during his presentation back at the Shaman Conference, "The movement of people and the medicine to the Amazon is very fast now. In the early 21st century, we're seeing ayahuasca come into the mainstream consciousness. There seems to be an increase in the ability of seekers from the West to handle these experiences." DMT culture is evolving rapidly in the West as a more mainstream analogue to the ayahuasca lineage. And both routes are valid if approached with respect and integrity. Yes, Westerners are often chasing a quick fix with DMT on its own, but many indigenous tribes have travelled the same route. In the Amazon, tribes blew a DMT snuff up their noses, so the psychoactive material went through the mucous membranes and straight to the brain. Dangers abound. ayahuasca is not for everyone. It's a tool for healing and spiritual growth, but it needs to be administered in a sacred set and setting by shamanic practitioners that can be trusted not to abuse their power. What we are living through is a generational shift, a second wave of ayahuasca coming out of the jungle and into the Western experience. And perhaps that's the key. The ayahuasca seekers are coming because they are answering a call they hear deep within themselves for reconnection. Whether that awareness comes from the state of DMT gnosis that can occur with the natural plant material, as in the ayahuasca brew, or synthesized DMT made in the lab, often doesn't matter. And the synergy between the two extremes, science and nature, is coming to a head with this new wave of consciousness explorers trekking through the jungles of Peru in search of a God fix. Which is when the psychonauts arrive at the front gate of La Rosacita. They're accompanied by everyone's favourite mad scientist, Dr. Juan, who's rounded them up and eager to get some more brain scans for his collection. Ron prepares the first pipe for Eliza while the others wait downstairs. Bowman, Vance and I fuss about quietly like nurses, making sure everyone's comfortable, and little Cato is there, offering people water from a plastic bottle, loving the excitement. Eliza drank with us at Percy's, and her friendly girl-next-door demeanour almost masks her nervousness as she sits on the bare mattress down on the floor, rubbing her arms and waiting for the ritual to begin. She looks into Ron's eyes as he brings the pipe to her lips. She stays under for a few minutes, murmuring to herself and writhing about, fretful, tormented. 5 minutes in, she sits bolt upright and stares off into space. Ron's there for her, smiling. She looks into his eyes again and sees her reflection looking back, and for a second, there's a flash of recognition. "Oh my God," she says. "He is all of us," Ron says. "I am so grateful," Eliza cries, and then her face contorts. "I hurt, Ron. I'm so scared." And she's back now, back in the body, fallen from grace and crying, purging, becoming, crawling out of her psychic cocoon, crying tears of pain and joy. Sacred Mother, joy and blood. Now she too has broken through the monkey shell and into the game of it all. A rooster crows. Eliza cries and cries as Ron whistles gentle Icaros to soothe her as the pain subsides. The pain of her body, the pain of separateness from the all. But I can see it in her face, a bittersweet smile, a hint of recognition that I recognise because I've been there too. And then she smiles. Her eyes flutter and her smile grows and grows and grows. "I'm so beautiful," she cries. "Welcome back, butterfly," I say. And while seekers are drawn here to answer the call of their own spirituality, I suspect we may also be fulfilling a larger need. As I have often heard here in Peru, the Inca prophecies say that this is the time when the eagle of North America and the condor of South America fly together, which symbolizes the Earth awakening. One side cannot be complete without the other. The steady stream of Western ayahuasqueros learning the ways of the vine also fills the gap left by the indigenous youth who have been seduced away by materialism as the two cultures merge. Muhu means seed in the Incan Quechua language, This can refer to a literal seed that is planted in the ground, or in a metaphoric sense, as a spiritual seed within a person. As I look at Eliza now, I realise that there is definitely a seed in her that has been awakened. Post-humanity, emerging from the spiritual backpacker circuit, the seeds within them activating via a DMT-induced germination of the species. It's then that I hear this unbelievable sound, a cry that pierces the noon air, barking like a beast in the heat-death birth of a star. Bowman and I race out of the house and into the backyard towards the sound of the storm, the thunder coming from a figure down on the ground. It's Monica. There she is, split like the moon from the sky. Good God in heaven, that a human can make these sounds, that they can be birthed through us, in us. She's a sensitive, with a fierce warrior strength that guards some deep emotional blocks that ayahuasca hasn't been able to break, but the 5-MeO DMT has. Ron's standing over her, holding her carefully, trying to sing Icaros, but it's like trying to woo a wildcat. She's wailing a death cry and flailing about like living lightning. And little Cato is right there with his dad, helping this wounded beast, a hand on her leg. And then she's back, in the meat, the body. Ron's Icaros eventually guide her into a sacred space, and she calms like a babe. She's broken through. Monica's eyes open wide, and she's laughing manically and crying. Her DMT connection is still strong. There are no words to describe what she's feeling. So she holds out her arm with a red love heart tattoo on the underside and a cursive script atop it that reads, "Love." And she points at it and cries. Monica's broken now, but stronger in the broken places. All of us now are stronger in the broken places.